welcome to the longer form video of what we've been up to this week. I'll tell you what we've been up to. We have been up to an awful lot of networking. I think Dave has attended 3 networking events and I have attended 2 with him. Networking, a really important part of our business, meeting new investors, meeting the occasional new supplier, the new subcontractors, and gaining enthusiasm from other people who are investing in property, trying to develop financial freedom from property, and just generally work in the construction industry. On the investment side of the business, Dave has managed to arrange us a viewing for our next commercial to residential property. That is going to be on Thursday next week. He had a meeting with the potential joint venture project. Somebody had a project and we're looking to bring someone on board who's had the skills, knowledge and experience to deliver it, but didn't want to be dealing with just a main contractor. They wanted a more hands-on relationship to also probably learn a little bit from the process. We often get people approaching us in that way, that they want to shadow us, learn from us as we develop the project, and we get a share of the profit for that. However, the project was not as far along in the actual structuring, shall we say, or the deal has not yet been finalised. So Dave has reiterated that yes, when the time comes, we'll be more than happy to help, but right now he needs to do a little bit more work on it, make sure that it's going to be, the project's actually going to be able to go ahead. We had a meeting this week, David and I, lunch meeting with one of our larger investors, told her where the current project was at, predicted timelines, how the project was going, and she's an avid property investor. We spoke to her about some of her other projects that she's got ongoing at the minute and where we might be able to help her out from a developer capacity in some of her other projects. So that was really enjoyable. Nice couple of hours out of the business, working on the business. On to the construction side then. At Thames Ditton, that's the project we have just recently started. Scaffold went up last week, you'll remember. This week we stripped the roof and revealed the fabric of the building, and this is where any renovation or alteration gets its first review, let's say, because nothing is ever like the architects expect or the structural engineer when you actually dig into it, especially when it's been altered previously and there's already an existing extension. So, and rightly enough, that was it. So my week has been filled up with video calls and drawings and back and forth between structural engineer, architect and the client, trying to see how on earth we can still deliver it in a similar budget given the new constraints that we're experiencing. And there are always gives and takes. On this particular instance, it looks like the top part of the gable end, the loft space, is only a single skin brick wall, which will be lime mortar and then rendered on the outside. Our intention is the client wants us to take that render off. We also have to cut a steel in underneath this. Now, trying to get a wall that's made of lime mortar to survive all that process is going to be virtually impossible. So we're looking at actually taking that down, which will be an additional cost. However, where we have had some of the roof trusses, removed some of the roof trusses from the single story extension, it now appears we're going to be able to use those as flooring trusses because they're the right dimension and correct grade. So although it's a minimal saving, there will be a little bit of a saving for him there. So like I say, there's give and takes around these things. On to the Mayfair project. The electricians have been in this week, starting second fix. Plumber has been in, starting second fix, and the custom joiner who's making the media unit. He's got some cabinetry that he's doing in the bathrooms and also a little bit in the bedroom. So he's incredibly busy. Painter is still painting, thrashing on, doing a cracking job. Woking is also progressing nicely. This week we finally got round to removing the staircase and had the joiners in doing that, and then making good under the stairs. Created a really nice cupboard, shaker style doors on it. Looks great. It's turned out far better than I expected, actually. New firm of joiners that we've been using, really impressed with them. I've had some cracking lads there for 2 or 3 days this week. Tyler is in there as well. Tanked shower tray, installed the electric underfloor heating mat in there, started the floor tiling. Next week he will be onto the herringbone. We've got niches. Tyler's always loved niches, so he'll be cracking on with that next week. Being completely open and transparent, one of the things that I wanted to get done this week was some of the pre-con on our Islington project. However, due to the complications that I've had at Thames Ditton, that's taken up more of my time and I have not got around to doing some of those pre-con elements. It'll just have to wait till next week.